2026 could end up being one of the best years for Marvel, but it could also end up being one of their last as a dominating force in Hollywood if they don't change this one mistake that they're about to make. For years now, people have complained that Marvel has just been pumping out content left and right, and half the time, they suck. Instead of scaling back the amount of content they put out in 1 year, they decided to double down, release maybe the most amount of projects they've ever had in 1 year before. And if Marvel doesn't execute this right, this could actually be a really bad move for them. Now let's start off with the shows. In just a few days, we have Wonder Man, which actually looks really good. It looks very unique and not like anything we've seen from the MCU before. And while this is a good sign for the show, Marvel is barely marketing it to the point that I forget when the show actually comes out. One time I thought it already came out, and that's because Marvel is so focused on Doomsday. They should not have crammed so many projects in the year of an Avengers movie. They should just focus on that. Marvel cramming so many projects in the same year of Doomsday is only going to hurt them because they're going to forget so much about the other projects to the point that people who had a hard time keeping up with the MCU in 2021 are going to have a very hard time this year because they're not even going to know what projects are coming out and when they're coming out. In March, we had Daredevil Born Again Season 2, which does look pretty good. I really liked the first season. I thought it's one of Marvel's best shows, but we don't even have a trailer yet and it comes out in March, and that's because Marvel is again so focused on Doomsday. Having projects interfere with other projects, it's hurting them. We have a Punisher special that might interfere with Spider-Man Brand New Day. We don't know yet. You have Vision Quest, which I'm actually really excited for, mostly because Ultron is coming back and I love Ultron, but it's also the final show in the WandaVision trilogy. And I actually think WandaVision was a great show. I actually think Agatha was a great show. That's why I'm really excited for Vision Quest. I think they could do a lot with it, and they have really talented workers working on the show. They're wasting Ultron's comeback on a TV show. And so many people aren't even going to know that Ultron's back in the MCU because they're not going to watch the Vision Quest show. And then they're not going to know that Ultron's back. One of the core villains in the Avengers movies in the Infinity Saga. One of the main reasons people lost interest in Marvel is because they couldn't keep up with what was going on. So that's only going to make it worse. The next two shows aren't in the MCU, but they still do carry the Marvel name. X-Men 97 Season 2 comes out in summer, and will continue the story for the first season. Another reason why there's such a long gap between Season 1 and 2 is because they had to keep up the animation quality, and they had to try and make a worthy second season to the first season. But because it's been so long, I'm not really that excited for Season 2, but once the trailer's out, I'm going to be hyped for it. If I Know What Spider-Man Season 2 comes out this year, and I liked the first season, I actually really did, and I think it's very unique. The animation is actually not that bad. I really like the direction they're going with the show. I'm very excited for Season 2. But this is a packed year for Spider-Man. I mean, this, Brand New Day, and Spider-Noir, jeez. Spider-Man's immune to superhero fatigue, so that's good, but it's still not helping Marvel. Last but not least, Spider-Noir. Of course I'm excited for the show. It's my most anticipated Marvel show of this year. But come on, man. 6 shows and 1 special, that's enough. That's a lot. People who love Marvel like me are going to be hyped for this. But the general audience is going to be sick of Marvel once the year ends. Now let's move on to the video games. Well, we got Marvel Tokon Fine Souls this year, which does look pretty good. It's a fighting game, and art style is amazing. And I'm excited for it. There's nothing really much to say about it. I mean, it looks good, but it is still adding a lot to the Marvel name. And then we also have Knights of 43 Eyes of Hydra, which I'm honestly believing might get delayed, so I don't know if I should count this one. The last trailer we got for the game was in March of 2024. That was before Deadpool and Wolverine came out. We're about to get Doomsday this year, and we still don't have a gameplay trailer yet for this game. This is looking really bad. I think this game might actually get canceled, because how does it take this long to show off some gameplay? We literally have got nothing for the game besides some concept art since 2024. It's still slated to come out this year, but it's not looking good. Regardless, I gotta count it. So next we got Marvel Rivals Season 6 through 10. I mean, it's literally obvious that we're gonna get 6 through 10 this year because we got 1 through 5 last year. And Marvel Rivals is slowly dying, I know, but it still has a lot of players, so it's made the list. Alright, last is Wolverine, and I'm really excited for this game. It's my most anticipated game of this year since Sonic Frontiers 2 is not coming out this year because, we haven't heard anything about it and it wasn't at the Game Awards. But I have one concern for the game. This is also a major concern I have for Marvel Spider-Man 3. And that is, I hope it is not an 8 to 10 hour game. Because Wolverine looks like going to be huge. You can tell by the trailer. You have him fighting Omega Red. You got Mystique in there. There's a lot going on in this game. And I don't want it to be crammed in 7 hours. I want at least a 15-hour campaign for this game. In my opinion, Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man Miles Morales are 10 out of 10. But Spider-Man 2 is around 8 out of 10 for me, and that's because the length of the game is too short. They crammed so much in there, and it was really rushed. It was still really good, but you could tell it was meant to be longer. Venom was barely in the game besides like the last 10 minutes of the campaign. Overall, Spider-Man 2 is a solid game. But so much could have happened. So much would have been better. The symbiote was rushed. Oh, Craven's cancer thing was a little bit rushed. Harry getting sick and turning evil was rushed. Everything towards the second half of the game was rushed. And that's the only thing holding the game back. Besides that, the game is amazing. And I just don't want that for Wolverine. I want the game to truly be able to breathe, to have moments that you don't have to rush through. That's my only concern for the game. That's a bigger concern for Spider-Man 3. I mean, Spider-Man 2 was supposed to be longer, but PlayStation/Sony made them cut out a lot of content so that they can meet deadlines. I think for Spider-Man 3, you have to make it at least 20 hours because you have 3 Spider heroes in this game. You have Miles, you have Peter, and you have Silk. To mention, you're bringing back Otto Octavius, and you're having Green Goblin as the main villain. You don't want to mess him up. And this is the final game in the Insomniac Spider-Man franchise, and this has been PlayStation's biggest franchise for the last 10 years. So they're going to go all out. And if they have to cram everything they want to do in one 15-hour campaign, it's going to ruin the game. This problem really just made Spider-Man 2 feel a little underwhelming, but for Spider-Man 3, it will completely ruin the game. So I have to hope that they're not going to make that mistake. Let's not forget, we have 2 movies coming out this year, Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday. Spider-Man's going to be fine. We all know how those leaks blew up on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. The movie's going to make at least $800 to $1 billion. The movie is fine. It's Doomsday that I'm worried about. I'm worried that Marvel's looking desperate right now. I mean, bringing back RDJ was definitely a choice, and people were calling them desperate back then. But bringing back RDJ and Chris Evans, especially that Steve Rogers is coming back, not some other variant, that looks pretty desperate. And that's going to make people lose respect for Marvel, especially since they created that perfect ending for Endgame. And it makes Marvel look like they can't do anything without those 2. My other concern for Avengers Doomsday is I hope that's not too big for its own good. We have the X-Men, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Doctor Doom all in the movie. My concern is that some are going to get more screen time than others, and I know that people are going to go see these teams because they love them. But the problem is, some people are going to go see the movie for the Avengers, some people are going to go see the movie for the X-Men, etc. And some are going to get more screen time than others. And you're not going to make everyone happy, it's just not possible. So who's getting the bigger slice of pie than others? The movie is called Avengers Doomsday, so you make the Avengers the main characters. Fine. The X-Men are the second most popular Marvel team in the movie. Okay, you give them the second most amount of screen time. Okay, sure. But then the Fantastic Four might not have enough screen time, people get mad. Thunderbolts are the most loved new team in the MCU. They don't get enough screen time, a lot of people will be mad because they want to see the movie because they love the Thunderbolts. I'm always worried that they might have made the movie too big for its own good. Not to mention that people do have superhero fatigue right now. A lot of people are sick of Marvel. And with Doom coming out literally the same day, I'm worried that those people who don't like Marvel anymore might just say, you know what, I'll go see Dune instead because the movie looks really good. I think Doomsday will end up around 1.3 to 1.6 billion. I don't think it's going to get anything higher than that. It might get to 1.8, 1.9 billion, but I just don't believe it. I think at most, it will be at 1.6 billion, which is still good, but I just think that Marvel just doesn't have the same build-up they had before. They're trying to do what they can. I just don't know if it's working the right way. And with some people saying Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Captain America all underperformed last year, but the Marvel fans were saying, wait till Doomsday. I'm one of them. But if this movie flops, there might not be an argument anymore. And superhero fatigue is going to be at an all-time high this year because think about it. There's a total of 7 Marvel shows, including a presentation. There's 2 Marvel movies, and there's 4 Marvel games, including Marvel Rivals. Now, for DC, there's 2 DC movies. There's The Lanterns. There's Creature Commando Season 2. There's Batman Cape Crusader Season 2. Legacy of the Dark Knight. There's more DC projects to add on to the Marvel projects. There's Invincible. There's The Boys. This is all superheroes. And this might actually push superhero fatigue to an all-time high this year. They just got to execute it right. If they don't, I'm worried. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this. Peace out.